Every year, Memorial Day meant a family gathering at our old lake house. Nestled deep in the woods, it was a retreat from the chaos of the city. This year, however, would be different. Little did I know, it would be a weekend I would never forget. Arriving late on Friday, I noticed something odd. The air was heavy, almost oppressive, and the forest surrounding the house seemed unusually silent. I brushed it off as fatigue and settled in for the night. The next morning, the sun shone brightly, casting long shadows through the trees. My cousins and I decided to take the canoe out on the lake. As we paddled, I felt an inexplicable chill despite the warm weather. I looked back at the house, its reflection rippling in the water, a perfect picture of serenity, yet something felt off. Later, as we sat around the bonfire, my uncle began sharing a story about a local legend. Supposedly, a hermit once lived in these woods, believed to have gone mad and disappeared without a trace. Locals claimed his spirit still roamed, seeking revenge on those who disturbed his peace. We laughed it off, but an uneasy feeling settled in my stomach. That night, I struggled to sleep. The wind howled through the trees, and shadows danced across the walls. Just as I was drifting off, I heard a faint tapping at the window. I froze, my heart pounding. Gathering the courage to look, I found nothing but the swaying branches of a nearby tree. I tried to convince myself it was just the wind. Sunday morning, the atmosphere had shifted. A storm was brewing, clouds darkening the sky. My family decided to stay indoors and play board games. As the rain pattered against the windows, I couldn't shake the feeling of being watched. Around noon, the power went out. We lit candles and gathered in the living room, trying to make light of the situation. My aunt suggested we tell ghost stories, and my cousin eagerly started with a tale about the haunted woods. I listened, half-heartedly, my mind elsewhere. Suddenly, there was a loud crash from the kitchen. We all jumped, hearts racing. My father went to investigate and found a window shattered, rain pouring in. He checked outside but saw no signs of anyone. We chalked it up to the storm, but I was unconvinced. That evening, the storm intensified. Thunder rumbled ominously, and lightning illuminated the room in brief flashes. As we sat in silence, I heard it again, the tapping at the window. This time, it was more insistent. Mustering courage, I approached the window, but there was nothing there. Feeling restless, I decided to explore the basement, hoping to find candles or a flashlight. As I descended the stairs, the air grew colder. The basement was cluttered with old furniture and boxes. I rummaged through them, and a strange sensation washed over me, like I wasn't alone. Then, I heard a whisper. It was barely audible, but it sent chills down my spine. "Leave," it seemed to say. I spun around, the beam of my flashlight darting across the room. Nothing but shadows. Panicked, I rushed upstairs to find my family gathered around the fireplace. I tried to tell them what happened, but they dismissed it as nerves. I sat down, trying to calm myself, but my mind was racing. As the night wore on, everyone eventually went to bed. I lay awake, listening to the storm's fury. Suddenly, the tapping returned, louder than ever. This time, a cold dread filled me. I knew I had to confront whatever it was. I crept to the window, heart pounding. The rain was relentless, and visibility was poor. But then, I saw it, a figure standing just beyond the tree line. It was indistinct, but there was something undeniably sinister about its presence. Backing away, I stumbled into the hallway, where I saw my cousin, eyes wide with fear. He had seen it too. We gathered the courage to wake the others. Skeptical but concerned, my father grabbed a flashlight, and we ventured outside as a group. The rain soaked us instantly, and the wind howled, but the figure was gone. We searched the perimeter, finding nothing but the eerie quiet of the woods. Defeated, we returned inside, shaken. The next morning, the storm had passed, leaving the woods eerily calm. We packed up, eager to leave the unsettling atmosphere behind. As we drove away, I glanced back at the house, now a distant silhouette against the trees. I still can't explain what happened that Memorial Day weekend. Whether it was the spirit of the hermit or something else entirely, I can't say for certain. But the memory of that figure in the rain, watching us, will haunt me forever.